Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Velima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jessie Reisch. Reisch is R-E-I-S-C-H. All right. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out as necessary. Let's see what we have. All right. My first thought how's that saying go? Into every life some rain may fall, something like that. In other words, I feel like this is starting off on a little bit of a damper, but I feel like it's definitely going up. It's getting better. And I feel like you're going to actually be happy, quite happy at the end of this. It seems like there's a situation that's maybe not the most ideal at the moment, but it's going to get a lot better, and you're the one who seems to be in control of that. Now, I'm getting your partner. Your partner seems to be very stable in this situation, and I'm seeing, oddly enough, your partner has the Ten of Pentacles. And they seem to have a very established situation going on here. Something that's so established that I feel like it's been going on for a while, and I feel like you're also looking at it like it's not going away. But there's something about this situation that you're not over the moon about. And you see it for what it is, and you're like, well, this is not going anywhere. But a couple pieces of this I do not like. For whatever reason, there's things here you definitely are like, no, we need to fix something, or we need to like weed this out a little bit. It's almost like weeding things out, or just like fixing something, like fixing a broken car that has a really wonky wheel. You're just like, that's really not good. We need to fix that, and we can continue on. The situation as a whole is salvageable, but this one piece is so out of whack that it's just not right. But the thing is, you got this Four of Swords here, where you're kind of stepping back. I don't feel like you're coming towards your partner saying this is off balance or this is out of focus. I feel like you're stepping back and you're trying to think about what exactly what is the root of the problem. For example, if we're going to use that car analogy again, the wonky wheel. Was it the wheel that was messed up to begin with, or is it something about that piece of the car that's warping the wheel? And if you replace it with a new wheel, is it just going to warp the new one as well? You're looking to get to the root of it. Like, is it just that piece, or is there something happening to that piece that's making it warbly, whatever you want to say. And I'm getting the Ten of Swords with you here. Your partner is very, very established in this, and you're looking at this pattern, and you're like, it looks like a mountain, is what I'm getting. And you're not really sure about how you're going to fix this, because you're starting to think that the problem might be rooted a little deeper. Again, with that wheel analogy, it's maybe not the wheel itself, it might be the mechanism it's connected to that's warping it and making it look like it looks like it's the wheel, but maybe it's not the wheel. Maybe it's something a little bit more serious, something a little bit more in depth. And you're looking at it really closely, and I feel like the Ten of Swords is here because you're just kind of feeling like it might be quite an issue. It might be quite the problem. And then the Ten of Swords is telling me you're afraid. If this is really hitting, you're afraid you can't overcome it, and that would be why the Devastation, because that's the Devastation card. You're feeling like you can't overcome it at first. Now, your challenge card is the Eight of Cups. Knowing where the problem is, knowing there is a problem in what area it's in, yet not knowing exactly what's causing it, but still heading towards it and still like, well, I don't know what's going on, I'm going to have to dig in. It's like you're going to have to start unearthing it to find out what the true problem is. Your challenge card is actually just to take that step forward on faith and start digging in and just trying to figure out what the problem is, because you're going to have to get below the surface, a bit below the surface. You're going to have to get dirty in the situation to really find out what's going on. And I'm getting, your challenge card here is just to go forward, just to have faith you're going to find what you're looking for, and you're going to find out it's not as bad as you thought. I feel like the Ten of Swords is saying, This is what you're perceiving it as before you get involved. While you're still on the outside trying to figure out what's going on, you got that Four of Swords energy, you're holding back, you're just kind of observing, if you will. While you're there, while you're in the observing, that's where you're feeling the devastation. Like, oh my God, I don't even know if there's anything I can do for this. It's very heavy. Once you tackle this challenge card and you just kind of jump in, just kind of like, I don't like jumping in, but I'm going to do it. You're going to find this isn't as bad as you thought. The joy is coming from once you dig in and get a little dirty in the situation, you're like, oh, okay. All right, still not the best situation, but this is something I can handle. This is something I can do. I can do something about this. Now, you're getting involved, I see, and then I get the Five of Pentacles for your partner in their spiritual sense. They definitely need your help. Because I feel like you're identifying what the problem is, and you're saying, this is what's going on, this is what needs to be fixed. You're telling them what's wrong, and that this can't keep going on. And then they're like, okay, I understand, I agree, you're making a good point, I see your point, but I need you to help me. Like, I feel like they're saying, I don't know how to do that. Like, if the car analogy again, if it's the wheel, they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Like, I understand what you're saying, like, that's wrong, and this needs to be fixed, and that needs to be replaced. I don't know what you need. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I don't have the finances, or I don't even know who to ask to help me with that. Like, they're coming towards you like, you're right, I see what you're saying, thank you for pointing it out, now what do I do about it? Like, now that you know what the problem is, I don't know how to fix it. Like, what am I supposed to do? So then the ball comes back over in your court, is what I'm getting. This is kind of funny. I mean, I don't know how you're feeling about it, but you see something's wrong, you're a little devastated, you're like, I don't even know what to do to fix it. I don't even know what exactly is wrong there, if I can figure it out. You dig in, figure it out, you bring it to your partner, they're like, okay, great, but now what? What do you want me to do about that? So your spiritual card is the Temperance card. You're like, all right, let me think about it. Give me a moment, like, give me a couple days maybe, and I'll mull it over, I'll see what type of resources I have, I'll get some ideas together, and we'll see how we can handle this together. Because I feel like that's how you're going about this. You're like, all right, let me see what I can do, and let's see what we can do together, and we'll find a way to work this out. The Temperance card is here, which is to me it's very Taurus-like, because slow and steady wins the race. Let's think it out, let's get a plan together, let's move on the plan that we've fortified. Makes sense. Now, your partner, I'm getting your partner seems to be going along with this wheel and the Page of Pentacles. They're standing with this Wheel of Fortune. They're nervous about the situation because they don't know what way the wheel is going to go. Is it going to go well? Is it not going to? They seem to be nervous, like this is going to either make or break the situation. I don't feel like it's that much of I don't feel like it's that heavy in reality, but to them, especially because they seem to feel like you have the control, you see it for what it is, they don't feel empowered to handle it, is what I'm getting. The wheel is basically waiting for them. Like, the wheel is waiting for them in the sense of, like, it's going to turn left or right, and they're just waiting to see what way that's going to actually turn. The Seven of Pentacles is, like, it's one of those things where they know they're not going to find out right off the bat, but, like, how this part is handled, how you're helping them, is going to either make or break the situation, is how they're feeling about it. Because what I feel happens is literally you have to take control of the situation. I'm not saying you're doing it all by yourself, but you're the leader. I feel like you're the leader. You're saying, all right, this is how we're going to get the money together. This is who I found can help us. This is what we need to do. This is when it needs to happen. This is how we're going to get this money together. You're going to need to do this over there. I'll do this over here. We'll get that money together that way. It's going to throw off the pattern you're used to a little bit, but we'll get it back on track, and this is how we're going to do it. I feel like you really have the whole thing mapped out for them, and it's just about them doing their part, which does not seem like a problem in this situation. And that's where the victory comes from. Because you take control of it. You have the Magician, you're taking control, you're putting the plan together, you're telling them what needs to be done. They seem to be just following your plan. I'm getting the whole kick of this whole situation is the Knight of Wands on your side. This is what makes things better. When you start getting involved, it's just, you just got to get that first step in to just jump into the situation, and then from there on out, it just feels like it takes its natural course, and that just seems to be how this works out, where you just end up taking control. I'm getting your partner. The challenge for your partner is the star card. The star card, excuse me. To have that more optimistic view, to see things in a better light. I feel like, especially when they're at that point where they're worried about the wheel and they don't know which way it's going to go, and they know it's going to take some time before they see it, I'm getting like that's really a part where it's hard for them to be optimistic. The challenge for them is to just have more. I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to end up having faith in you and the way you're handling it. There was a lot of like, all of a sudden, all around me, there's like the phone buzzing. There's this bus that keeps going by, a little short bus. It's kind of funny. Like, all of a sudden, everything just happened at once. And it makes me think that at this point, and I feel like this is valid for this reading, because this has happened before, your partner may be a little bit overwhelmed by the situation and distracted. And I feel like another thing that might help bring this star card into focus to make things easier for them is maybe you just kind of slowly reminding them here and there, like this is what we've done, but this is what we're doing, this is where we're going. You might have to reiterate it a little bit, not like ad nauseum, but like especially if they have that googly-eyed look in their face, like, oh, what are we doing? Just like, oh, that went well, I'm so happy that went well, this is what we're doing now, this seems like it's going well. And where we're going, I think everything's on track to this is where we're going. You just may have to go over the plan a couple times every now and then, just so they have some more faith, so they get that reinforcement here to realize this is going to work out. Because the whole thing is going to be slow and steady wins the race for your partner. I know you have the Knight of Wands here on your side of what makes things better, but that's basically you jumping in and actually getting involved to begin with. That's what's making that better. What's making things better for them is to realize it's going to take some time to fix this situation, but if they just kind of like see the plan for what it is and just get comfortable with the plan, they can be more at peace, just realizing it's going to take some time, but it's on track, it's going to be fine. I just feel like slow and steady wins the race. It seems like once they realize everything's on track and everything's in its groove, I feel like they're going to be okay. So I don't feel like this ends bad. I feel like it's just kind of like, I feel like your partner's going to feel a little less than empowered because the situation I feel like is overwhelming for them. But just you reiterating the plan every now and then, like this is where we've been, this is where we are, this is where we're going, everything's on track. It just builds more confidence and it just reminds them like everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay. They seem very nervous about the situation. That's the energy I'm pulling in there. Alright, I think we're good for Taurus in relationships. Let's do Taurus singles. What do we got for single Taurans? What messages do we have for single Taurans? Messages for single Taurans. What messages do we have for single Taurans? Messages for single Taurans. I think the worst thing about that phone ringing is lately it's a lot of telemarketers, so I'm just like, wonderful. And it happens every time I sit down to do a reading. I could be doing this and that all day for hours on end, and then I sit down to do a reading, and it's like the telemarketers are like, hey, let's call him. Killing me. Alright, single Taurus. Alright, so it feels good to start. My first thought is really nothing great comes without sacrifice. That's my first thought. So, I am seeing this card with the Knight of Cups. I want to say the King of Cups. Really, it's really strong, but I feel like the reason it's the Knight of Cups is because you're the one who wants to go forward towards this. You want to go forward towards this. You want this to happen. You're very motivated. There's somebody here, and I'm seeing this Six of Cups. I'm feeling the Six of Cups in your thoughts, almost like something that went awry, or something where it's almost like a missed opportunity is what I'm getting. Because the past has the Eight of Swords. And I feel like the person you want to go towards, you're looking at this as a missed opportunity. Somewhere in the past, things like when you wanted to finally go towards somebody, or when you finally realized you had feelings for someone, something along those lines, or it could have been vice versa, the opportunity just wasn't there. There was a block for one reason or another. For some of you, it was distance, this, that, the other thing. The short end of it, the short is that you've been thinking about this person, and in the past, the opportunity, it just wasn't viable. For whatever reason, I feel like there's a lot of ways that could go, especially with a general read. But what I'm getting is the other person seems to be aware that, like, you were both on the same page, it's just it wasn't viable for things to come together, for whatever that means. Now this person, all of a sudden out of the blue, is coming towards you. The Eight of Wands with the psychic protection. They're coming at you quick. They're coming at you very quick, but I feel like they're also, I feel like it's just like, when I'm getting this protection vibe, they're not letting you see exactly what's going on in their life right now. I don't feel like a glamour. I don't feel like they're trying to make you think things are better than they are. But I feel like they're blocking you from what's actually going on in their life right now. Because life might not be that great for them right now. But they're not trying to make it look like it's great. They're just not addressing it or bringing that forward. I almost feel like it's almost like they're only telling you the half of the story. Almost like they're only telling you, like if say they went to New York City or something recently, they're telling you the good parts. They're not telling you about the argument they had with whoever, or the lack of finances, if that's the case. They're not telling you like those pieces. They're not making it out better than it is, but they're not telling you the negative side of things, is what I'm getting. That's what the psychic protection feels like for me in this. But the fact that they're coming at you quick is definitely the Tower card. And the Ace of Wands is telling me it's coming forth in the form of a message. One way or another, they're getting a message to you. They would like to see you. They're coming at you quick. They're wondering how you're doing. Could be a Facebook thing. Could be a text. A phone call. Could be somebody knows that this person's looking for you, and that's how the message is coming to you. Like so-and-so's been asking about you. Something like that. But it's coming quick, and I feel like you're shocked. You're shocked, but you definitely want to see this person. You got the Ten of Cups. Your heart immediately swells when you hear the information that this person wants to talk to you, whether they're sending you a message directly or a roundabout way. Your heart swells as soon as you hear it. That's the Ten of Cups. The thing is, you also have the Page of Cups at the top. Like, these energies are very conducive. I feel like your heart swells. You very much want to see this person. You like this person, but you're not like running amok with the thought. You're kind of like, it would be nice to see this person. I don't feel like you're hearing this information or getting this information and expecting anything right off the bat. But I do feel like you want to see this person. You would like to see this person. You're not expecting anything over you're not expecting anything over what? Over exaggerated? I don't know. I feel like I want to exaggerate something, but maybe not. You're keeping a level head about it. Because you have that page, but you got this joy. You're very, very, very happy to see this person, but you're not expecting anything from it. But you're shocked to hear from them, excited to see from them, your heart swells, but you're not expecting anything, is what I'm getting. Now, as we keep going forward, you've got the Moon card with the Trust. Yep. You do see this person. I don't feel like there's any reason you wouldn't. They want to see you, you want to see them, why not? The Moon card is telling me you do see each other, it's a great moment, but you have no idea where it's going. But the advice here is just to trust that the energy will work itself out. Wherever it should go, it'll go. I feel like it's a good moment. It's just enjoying the moment for what it is and not trying to look too forward, trying to not look too far into the future. The energy is like, I'm getting like if I go too fast, I think that's when I'm tripping up, because like it's kind of like just taking it slow and steady and just enjoying the moment for what it is. Where it goes is where it goes. It's just an enjoyable moment. You like this person likes you, and just trusting it'll work out if it's meant to. I feel like slowing it down is what's necessary here. I feel like that's your natural energy anyway. Just to kind of like, let's take it moment by moment. The other person's energy might be a bit faster. Okay. I noticed that came through a lot easier when I slowed down a bit. Okay. Where is this going? You got the Seven of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the True Love come to me. From that moment, I feel like the two of you want to make things work out. It's almost like even if those obstacles that were there before are still there, you got the Seven of Wands saying you both want to hold your ground, but the Page of Swords is kind of trying to find a way around things, trying to find a way to work things out, trying to find those shortcuts, or not shortcuts, but those solutions, those hidden solutions. Because I'm getting the Seven of Wands, neither of you want to give it up. You both want to see if you can make it work, especially with this true love come to me. You're trying to find a way to make it work out. I feel like you're both, the Seven of Wands makes me feel like you're both very, very tight, and you're both trying to fight to make this work out this time. You're both trying to stand in the same, even if there's distance, whatever the challenge is, you're both standing in a spot where like, we got to find a way to work this out. We want to be together. It'd be great for us to be together. What do we need to do to work this out? And the Page of Swords is usually an absorber, like a passive energy. It's kind of like watching your environment, looking for possibilities. You both seem to have your ear to the ground, trying to find ways to get around the situation. But at this point, it's very much absorbing energy and trying to find a way. Or at this point, you're trying to find a way. I don't see it happening at this point, but I see you trying to find a way. And I have to be honest, that's where this one kind of ends, because I feel like that's where this goes. If you get to that part where you're trying to find a way, I feel like it depends from there on out what happens. If you can actually find that way, or what the way is, if it's acceptable or not. Because you may find a few different ways to actually make this happen. It's just, is it acceptable? Is it doable? Is it livable? That type of thing. All right, I think we got there. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.